is going on, car guys and car gals? It's Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And it's Ferlin Arts Subprime Hero.
And we are over here on day 2 at the incredible Drive Centric DC20 event at Drive Centric headquarters. And we have somebody fresh to brew with today. Never been on a podcast.
No.
Never been to, have you been to St. Louis before?
I live in St. Louis.
Oh, you live in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Okay.
So right up, he's just from right around the corner.
Okay. Right around the block. Awesome. That's actually really, really awesome. I love this city. It's an awesome place to come.
It is.
But this is his first time at a DC20 event, and he's having some fun. We have the one,
the only, Aaron Jeffers.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, brother.
What's up, bro? How you doing, man? So, man, it was your one of your leaders, your general manager at the store came to me yesterday and was like, man, you guys want some good content for your show. You want to talk to somebody that's inspirational, can inspire people that you have on your that watch your show, your viewers. And folks, I'm gonna tell you, when he just gave me a little like sprinkle of what the background was, I was like, yep, that's exactly the type of people, the type of story that I want to be able to share on this, because this industry is great, isn't it, man?
Yeah, it really is.
It's in a wonderful industry, and it could change your life. It could make you look at the world in a whole different lens that can let you know that there's a future beyond your measure, more than you could ever imagine. And I know that's happened with you, and now your dreams, I'm sure, have gotten way bigger. So tell everybody a little bit about where you work and what you do now.
I work at Dave Sinclair Ford, #1 Ford dealership in St. Louis, Missouri. We took over #1 last year, so
yeah, I love
that. Big feat for us, and
that's amazing, bro.
I've been with them since January of 2020, and it's been a blessing. And
January 2020.
He came in,
for us too.
and that's a very special month for Lou and I. This show began in January of 2020. Matter of fact, the date was 1/20/2020. Was when our very first show was released, and so it's a pretty important day for us. But it was also a big shift a couple months later, right? So a lot of things changed. Yeah. So you came into the industry at a very unique time. It was actually doing pretty good during that time when you got in. It was like, it was not bad. Then that all happened, right? Then you had to be like, what's going on?
Right.
Which was neat, but because you never really were tainted by the way it was done in the past all the way, you were able to adjust quickly, I'm sure, which helped you be able to get to the level that you're at now. So tell everybody a little bit deeper story. So, okay. Obviously, I want you to share what you want to share, but I know that in the past there was things that happened.
Yeah.
Right. So tell everybody a little bit more about that. Tell everybody, like, you grew up in this area. What your goals were when you were a young person, what you wanted to do, maybe. Let's ask you that. What did you want to do when you grew up here? What did you want to do when you were a younger person?
I really don't know. I grew up in a rough life.
Yeah.
I'm actually a recovering heroin addict. I've been clean since April 1st, 2014.
Dude, my man. Congratulations to you, bro.
That's so huge. April 1st, I'll have 10 years clean. I got clean when I was 22 years old.
That's great, dude. Come on.
I had a rough past, and I, went to jail a lot. I spent my 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd birthday all locked up. And when I got out August 2014, I just wanted to try something different and actually live my life and grow into an actual productive member of society, because before all I did was take from people, steal, rob, whatever I could do to, get more of to feed my addiction. So when I got out in August 2014, I got out of jail. It was a drug treatment program. It was a drug treatment program. And I started as a dishwasher at a restaurant, making $8 an hour. And I was grateful. I was so happy to be a dishwasher. I was so happy that this restaurant gave me an opportunity to even have a job because of my background.
Yes.
I had felony charges in my background. So for them to even give me a job to wash dishes, I was just happy, and I had a lot of wreckage in my past that I had to clean up with bad credit and, all these different fines and everything. But I just got out and I started working. I started working really hard. I learned how to run a restaurant. I moved on from that restaurant. I went to another restaurant. I eventually became a manager. And then I worked my way up to a different restaurant, a breakfast chain, and I became the district manager.
Wow.
So awesome. All within, a 3-year span, I went from washing dishes to running 7 multi-million-dollar restaurants. So I did that. I met my beautiful wife at that first restaurant. She was a hostess. I was the dishwasher. I don't know what she saw in me. I have no idea.
Like that man washing dishes.
Right. He's going to be somebody one day. He is going to be, I'm like, whatever.
The way he cleans those glasses.
Right.
I'm telling you right now, that's the best way to.
But seriously,
to
she
get-
saw somebody who's
Yeah.
eager,
Yeah.
and hardworking, and willing to do anything in whatever it took.
Yeah. I mean, when I got out,
That's
I
pretty
had
impressive.
nothing. I had $100,000 in medical bills. I had fines
Mhm.
throughout everywhere. I had a pair of pants and 2 shirts, and that was it. And I got out and I just started working my butt off. But yeah, I worked up to running 7 multi-million-dollar restaurants over the Missouri and Kansas area.
Mm-hmm.
So I was traveling a lot back and forth, and I wasn't really at home. I had 2 kids.
Yep.
One with my previous relationship, my daughter Aaliyah, she's 10, and then one with my wife now, AJ. He's 5 now. But I was traveling a lot. I was never at home. I was working 7 days a week. We weren't in the greatest of spots. We were getting by. I was making good money, but I didn't know how to like actually be an adult and start like it was. I never was taught any of that. I was never taught, what a credit card was and how to pay bills or anything like that. I didn't really know what I was doing. So all I did was work. All I did was grind. I worked 7 days a week, and it was putting a stress on, my relationship at home, my relationship with my kids. And,
Yeah, man.
sitting down talking to my wife, we, decided let's try something different, because she was in the restaurant industry too. She was a server. I was a district manager. And, so around, December, 2019, been talking about it. And I was like, what about car sales? I think I would be good. I used to sell, other stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty good at it. So I figured, might as well try to,
So true though.
Right.
Just so you know,
So
you can hustle. Just saying.
Exactly. So, and I applied at a couple different dealerships. I applied at Dave Sinclair Ford first, because I'm a Ford guy. I've always liked Fords.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
So I applied there, and it's a little bit difficult to get on there because it's a union dealership. They have a union sales force.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's like
That's unique.
pension, 401k. I mean, it's crazy, like the amount of benefits that they have there. So I applied there, couldn't get on right away, and we had just enough money because I moved back we moved to Overland Park, Kansas, and then we moved back to St. Louis, and I started overseeing all the restaurants. So, and then we were both I was depressed. I was not happy with my life. And I had just enough money to pay my bills for the next month in January 2020. That's it. I had just enough money to pay my rent and my bills. That was it. So it was like a huge feat to just like say, all right, let's start over.
Yeah, man.
Let's start a new career. And she was so supportive. She was amazing too. Just like, all right, let's do it. So I actually got a job at a different dealership because they hired me right on the spot. I had a good background, I showed my resume, they're like, oh shit, let's give them a try. So they hired me right on the spot, and my GM, my boss, the one that made me come on this thing, I was in training at the other dealership. It was my first day, and it was awkward. It was so awkward. We were in a room with like 20 people, and they were doing role playing. And I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, I don't know if this is for me. Like, this is weird. I don't want to do this. I don't want to. They're like pretending to do a walk around. Like, I had no idea. They're just like having speakers come in, and it just felt like they mass hired and hoped one or two worked out. And that's how that's the feeling that I got from this dealership group.
That's most dealerships.
So as I'm doing this, we had lunch, and Tommy, my GM, calls me and was like, I want to offer you the job. He's full of energy and, all this, like, he's talking real fast. And I'm like, well, I appreciate you. Yeah. I was like, I appreciate you, but I actually started down the street at this other dealership. And he was like, no. I'm here till 9:00. Once you're done with your little training, I know what you're doing. Come down and see me. So I was like, this is kind of weird. Like, I don't know what to do. But I didn't feel right over there. I did not feel like I felt out of place. I felt like it wasn't the fit for me. So I call my wife and I tell her everything. She's like, "What's it gonna hurt? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
you're not. I mean, it's not like you have this huge career already at this other place. Like, just go down and talk to him, see what he's gonna say." So I went down there, talked to him for a little while, and he's just talking real fast. And he's like, "What are they paying you?" And I'm like, "I don't really know. I think like $300 or $400 a week." He's like, "I'll pay you $1,500 a week. You start tomorrow. You train as long as you want to." I was like, "All right, let's go."
Wow.
So
And begin.
it was amazing, and like I'm so
Wow.
glad I chose that other, my dealership that I've been with since January 2020, because he saw something in me that I didn't really see in myself at the time. I knew I was a hard worker. I didn't know if I could do sales, but he saw something in me that I didn't really see in myself.
So tell everybody about how much money you were making your first year in the business.
Okay, so the first year in the business,
If you want to get into details, I'm gonna tell you, folks. This is, and okay, let's just compare it. Like you working 7 days a week in charge of all these different people, dealerships, and all. I mean, not dealerships, but restaurants and all this stuff. You were probably making decent money.
Yeah.
What was the difference, and how many less hours were you working a week? Oh,
okay, so at the other restaurants, my salary was 80,000, and then I bonused off every restaurant. So I was making over 100 grand a year, but I was working literally 7 days a week. I never took off.
Yeah.
I just because we were a breakfast restaurant, so but we had events at night, so it was from 5 a.m. till 8 or 9 o'clock at night. I'm doing reports and this and that, and it just was not So my first year, like you said, COVID started, so I learned how to sell cars, and then COVID happened, the world shut down, and then we had to learn how to sell cars completely differently.
Yeah.
You aren't getting in the car with the person.
Nope.
You stay away. We had this plastic glass in front of us. It was very awkward, and it's hard to build rapport with people. So I had to learn how to and I was good at that because I bounced around, to school. I learned how to meet somebody, make them like me, and then sell them a car.
Yeah.
So, if you get somebody to like you, it's a lot easier to sell them a car than if they don't like you. So and I was good at that. I was, I think it was from my background of, jumping around all these different schools. Yeah, so my first year,
I believe that
I did pretty good. I think my first good month was 27 and a half cars. It was May. So it was like my 5th month in.
That'll do.
And then, I started strolling along and I was learning, I'm like a sponge. So anything you tell me, I'm just going to soak it up and just, grow and run with it. So in November of 2020, I got COVID. And
what a scary time to get it to.
Yeah, it was weird. And it was I remember I went to Starbucks and I was a weekend of COVID, of having COVID. And I remember I went to Starbucks. I'm like, am I infecting everybody? It was this weird mindset. Right. It was such a weird mindset.
That's what everybody, that's what we were told and what we felt like we were doing. And we're going to kill somebody because we're outside.
Exactly.
So, man.
Right. Exactly. So, when I got back, I could not sell a car for the life of me. I had no energy. I had, I lost my focus. And I remember, I think that month in November, I sold 6 or 7 cars or maybe even 8 cars. And so beginning of the month in December, my GM, Tommy, calls me and he was like, hey, I know you didn't make any, you didn't sell any cars. And I know you didn't make any money. And I know you can't live like that. So I'm going to bonus you $5,000 to help pay your bills. And he didn't have to do that for me. It was such a shock that this random guy that I've talked to a few times, he kind of left me alone.
Wow. Why do I
called me up, right? Called
so-
me up and was like, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to give you this money to pay your bills. Don't prove me wrong. And then, so from that day, December all the way until I became a manager, I sold over 30 cars a month for him.
Yeah, you did.
So, and it was just that
you would do anything for him at that point
exactly,
because you knew one thing, he would do anything for you.
Exactly.
That is powerful, y'all.
So the fact that he gave me that shot and the opportunity to make sure that I wasn't gonna starve my family and not be able to pay my bill, that month I think I sold 35 cars in December of 2020. And then from that on, my first year selling cars, I made 90 grand. My second year selling cars after he gave me that $5,000 bonus, I made $320,000.
Hello. He said 300. No, as a sales professional, folks, this is what's out there and this is what's possible. But leaders, I want to go back, and it's not just for people who want to get in this industry, but I want you leaders to hear what Tommy was doing the whole time. Tommy saw something in him, and a lot of times we see something in somebody and then they go somewhere else, and then we instead, he gives him a pay plan that is like impossible to say no to, right? Mm-hmm. It's called a guarantee. Come work with me. You could train as long as you need to be the best that you can be, and I will make sure you're provided all that, and you will be making enough income to provide for you and your family. Then when he started feeding you and you started taking the food and you started to get the feel of that type of money, the lifestyle of that type of money, when you had a bad month, he knew that wasn't you. Yeah. He knew that you were coming out of something tough, COVID, right, which was in the craziest time. Instead of just letting it, it's just what happens, he said, I believe in you enough to make sure that you're well more than provided for and you're loved. Good job, Tommy. Love you, bro. My goodness gracious. I love that so much.
You managers out there and you sales pros, or you anybody that's out there that is dealing with people where you're responsible for them, it's so important that you know them, right? That you take the time to know them, that you care about them, and then make the gesture of even to have the talk of, hey, what is the plan? Because in a lot of cases, we would see things with our salespeople. We're like, it's going to be bad for you, right, and we know what that's going to look like afterwards. Let's set up a plan, or we see it coming. This is why it's so important, like in sales, for you all to track your numbers. If you're going to be someplace for an extended amount of time, know what it is that you did in a season so that you can prepare for it the following year. Because there's so many things that seem to repeat in rhythm inside of the flow of the market. And it's very important that you assess yourself and teach your salespeople how to be ready for when they do have those big dips. Him being able to create a bonus to help you out, that's great leadership, folks. Take notes from that. Take heed to your people. Understand what it is that they need.
Tommy made way more than $5,000 from that $5,000 investment.
Way more. What I was just saying. But you felt invested in,
right?
And that's the thing. Now you're invested. Yeah. You've been invested in, and now there is no pulling you away.
No, man.
And now you're set to completely launch.
And not to mention, I'm gonna tell you that will be paid forward one day. Mm-hmm. There'll be an opportunity one day, Aaron, where you'll have the salesperson that you know, and you'll be in a position to be able to do the same thing for, and you will. And that is what I love about this situation. It's a beautiful thing. And another thing is, for all you all who have a past, who've been through things and maybe believe that maybe, I'm not worthy of it, or this is something that I can't do, you can do it. If you're a go-getter and you work extremely hard, you're going to love this industry. We do work more hours than others, but not like the restaurant industry. No, I love restaurant industry people. When we can find people who come from the service industry, when you're serving people and you're making sure they're getting service at a high quality level, at a high quality speed, then this industry is so easy for you. It almost seems like you're slowing down. Right. Even if you work 6 days a week, you're going to feel like it's slowed down. Right. It's a country club feel, right? So then at that point, it's just how much effort am I willing to put in to make the money that I want to make? And then you have plenty of hours throughout the day to do so. In the industry, we have a lot of freedoms throughout the day. We do have some tasks we have to do, but those tasks can be done in a couple hours. So what do we do with the rest of that time besides hopefully work deals, right? We just have to organize ourselves and have a plan and have a why and have a purpose and have somebody behind you that believes in you enough to say, hey, look, if you need the training, I'm going to give you the training. If you need support financially, mentally, every which way, I have it for you. This is now your family. And I love your wife. And I want to go back to that. Your wife and I love you for speaking to your wife like that and saying, hey, what do you think? And then listening to what your wife's advice was, hey, what would it hurt?
Yeah, what is
right.
Right. And that's her heart talking to you. And man, did that make you feel good? Right.
We all, a
lot of us are not blessed enough to have people like that in our lives, and you are. But I know that you're that same blessing to her. There's no reason. There's so many reasons why you all are together. Because obviously you probably are hitting way out of your league. Yeah. So being that said, congratulations to you on all your success, brother. Your story is phenomenal. Being a heroin addict is not something that's easy to overcome. Folks, I've seen it. I've been around it in my life, and I've seen people who could not get over that. And it's something that you deal with the whole rest of your life. So it's constantly work on that, but you find other things to do to occupy that time and occupy your mind and grow from, man. And you found it with your wife. You found it with a career. You found it in automotive industry, and now you're teaching others to do the same thing, man.
Right.
So congratulations to you
Thank
and
you,
all your
thank
success and your future success. And I can't wait to hear about people that you're leading and how you're going to help them be affected in life and the people that you recruit into the business that make all the difference.
So I brought on a lot of, a few other guys that are in recovery also, and brought them on and showed them that,
And they're
like,
crushing
hey,
it.
yeah, exactly, because they're just like me. They're,
they appreciate the opportunity.
Right.
The great thing about your victory is that it's a constant reminder to stay grateful, to be grateful for each and every piece of anything. Right. And then from there, you realize that, oh my gosh, it's unlimited what I can do and what's possible and in others too. And you get to unlock that in them. That is the victory, right? Because now you're truly creating legacy from what seemed to have been something that maybe most people would count as a defeat. It was a refiner to you to make you the incredible, grateful person that you are now. That is a gateway now for other people.
Yeah. So I get humbled a lot. I go to the St. Louis County Jail every 3 months.
Oh, wow.
And speak to about 70 inmates right before they get out. And I kind of explain to them, like, I was you. I was that person. I was sitting right there. I had no, goal besides to hold on and stay clean, and this is what you could do. This is what the life that you can create as long as you, get out and do what you're supposed to do. So I do that every 3 months. And I speak about my life a lot. I've done it, for the last 10 years. So I speak about my life a lot, but this is the first time I've ever, opened up in front of a podcast about it. And that's why my GM kind of pushed me out there and forced me to
I'm glad he did, man. And I'm really glad that Tommy did, man.
A couple of these comments real quick. Let's see. Frank Marquez, incredible solutionary right there. Leaders grow and build future leaders. Always encouraging, empowering.
That's right. You know what's up, bro. Frank knows what's up. That is a leader himself right there. And what a great story he has. And we appreciate you.
Don Brady's in the house. What's up, Don Brady?
Always with the smiley
Derek
face.
Bumper said it earlier. He said, just 7, huh? Let's go.
A hill.
A hill ain't never
been nothing to a stepper. That's right. My man. And there is, and your brother, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your story. Keep sharing that to everybody. That should be a badge of honor, because letting people know that it doesn't matter where you come from. It's about what you do from today and tomorrow and the day after that. If you can do those things well, then you're going to always do well. Yesterday is gone. That's what we believe in the 3 Fs for. And that's how we're going to end the show today with 3 Fs. They're 3 Fs they're the F-bombs that don't offend the moms. All right. We make sure that we forgive, and forgiving is something that's really important because we can hold that weight, and forgiving ourselves is tough. And you know this, right? Sometimes we all make mistakes. There's not a person on this planet that hasn't made a mistake, but sometimes we think our mistake is so bad that we're unforgiving. We can't even be forgiven by anybody, let alone ourselves, but we need to let that go because you can't grow unless you do, right? You put that weight of unforgiveness on your shoulders and it just holds you down so much. So we try to encourage everybody to forgive and wipe off the weight of unforgiveness. And then, so your hands are free, the weight's gone, and you can put your hands here to focus, because you know the deal, bro. When you're focused like this, man, you can do anything. You could become a leader. You can transform freaking restaurants into becoming better, where they put you in a position. You can get into a dealership and become the top person on the floor overnight. You can become a leader and help others do the same thing, and bring in and encourage others and go speak to people, man. You're crushing it. What a great way to focus. But there's nothing like being focused, because when you're focused, man, all you got to do is reach out at that point and just fly. And when you're flying, the key there is just to keep growing. All right, so let's do it together.
Take that to the men that you speak to.
Yeah,
teach them about how to forgive, focus.
Amen to that.
Because they can fly. Bring that. We try to bring that as everywhere as we can go. If anybody remembers anything, it's to forgive, to focus, and to fly, so that you can keep growing.
Ooh,
they can do that.
We got some Isabella on here right now.
That's my wife.
Oh, hey, you're an amazing lady, my friend. He honors you so much, and
husband.
Thank you for advising him to go ahead and just take that conversation. I think that was a great decision for you both. I would tell you both, Lou and I have very special wives ourselves that help us. We wouldn't be near the people we are today without them at all. So all 3 of us are very lucky men. So yes. So yeah, please pass that on, man. It's important that we do that. These things are big. He says, forgive, focus, fly, and flex, right? That's their little thing that we do down that way, man. It's awesome. We'll see you guys next week, Frank. So I can't wait. But folks, we're going to forgive Focus Fly and fly on out of here and have a great day. And we got some more great interviews coming, some more great stories, but I wanted to kick it off with this one because this one's a special story. And I think that it should be inspirational on both sides of the fence, whether you're a leader or whether you're a soldier on the floor.
Give them a shot.
Give them a shot.
Give them a shot.
Give them a shot. And take care of your people and let them know you care, and you'd be surprised what they'll do for you. All right. I love it. All right.
We ready? We ready to forgive Focus Fly, right? Hands on the shoulders. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Forgive. Focus. Fly. And keep growing. Keep growing.
Thank you so much, everybody. There you go. It's official. You are a solution.
So, John Nazelhoff, my bubs.
What's up?
That's awesome stuff.
Well, car guys and car gals, thank you so much for jumping in with us today. We are at DC20. We are live at the Drive Centric headquarters, having some fun. I am Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And I'm Frelin Arts, subprime hero.
And you have been enjoying this Interbrew with the one,
the only Aaron Jeffers.
See you later, everybody. Say bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Bye-bye. We're out.
See you.